Today we're reviewing the Sour Crumble. This is the Sour Crumble. I'm so glad we've got bikes like this that are built around 130 forks. I think that's the sweet spot. Bikes have come a long way, even in the last 2 years, to where 130, man, it's just a great trail bike. It can do just about anything. The geo on this isn't super crazy, super slack. It's got a 66.5 degree head angle. That's almost steep, but I would argue just about perfect for a trail bike with intentions like this. Looking at the geo, I was worried this was going to feel a lot like the Kona Hanzo ST, which I didn't really click with. But that's not the case. It doesn't ride quite as long as the numbers suggest. It rides a tiny bit slacker. Seat angle is slacker than some bikes, but it doesn't feel slack per se. It just feels great as a trail bike. It's zippy for intermediate trails and black diamonds. And there's something to be said for a zippy bike. We've got some experimental parts on here today. We've got these frozen grips. We've got the roost tie bars and stem. We've got the Ignite cranks, the roost flat pedals, and the TRP spike cable actuated disc brakes. So these frozen grips are super cool. They're the thing everyone notices about this bike. I put them on with rubbing alcohol. They said that was okay. It's not okay. I've got like twisty grips. And I need to go change these before I finish the review because I don't have control. I'd love to see a lock-on version of this. I think they do really well. I don't know if you can though, because the tube would have to be clear. So maybe don't use rubbing alcohol and just use air. I took them off, cleaned them off, dried them out, and then used air, and they still slip. So I'm gonna have to change those to finish this review. I could probably pull them off right here if I had to. They're super comfy, they're nice and big. I just don't like that they twist. That's a bummer. All right, we're back on the trail. Oh boy, this thing wants to charge way more than I expected. Oh. Wow. All right, these geo numbers have got to be sagged. It feels closer to a 65.5 head angle than a 66.5. And the reach does not feel 462 like it says. It feels closer to 450. Hello. Ooh, I'm liking this a lot. More than I thought I would. I mean, I was excited when I saw this on paper. Good little climber. This bike feels like just a great all-rounder. Feels like it was meant for this 130 fork. Oh, what a joy to ride. Yeah, that's not quite as slack as some of the rowdy bikes I ride, but this bike doesn't need to be. I don't think I'd want it slacker unless I was riding that fast, steep, ledgy chunk all the time. Man, this thing wants to get on that back wheel. Wow, this thing will get rowdy. So on paper, it looks like a Hanzo ST. Couldn't ride farther from the Hanzo ST. Howdy. I'm going this way. Have a good one. Man, this thing's special. All right, here's a 30-inch lift. Right up it, real predictable. Here's another one. Yep, same. Here's another one. This one's closer to 24 inches. Oh no, that's a 30-incher. Nice. Hops right up it. All right, we're coming up on a very difficult climb. We'll see how this does. I get this climb about 40% of the time, but I'm feeling optimistic. Here we go. Yep. Oh boy. Nope. Let's try that again. Here we go. I'm falling in holes today. Can't always get them 100% of the time. That's a really tricky climb. On our group ride at the Sedona Mountain Bike Festival, we rode this trail, and only 3 of us made that climb out of 35 riders. It's a tough one. All right, let's party. Man, that stack feels tall. Love it. Oh, this thing wants to play, but it also charges quite well. So some bikes I ride want to be ridden at 8/10, 9/10, and 10/10. Other bikes want to be ridden at 1 or 2/10 and just chill. This bike is surprisingly happy from 1/10 to 9/10. If you're not a shredder but you'd like to get into that a little more or ride faster, this bike could be a great fit because you don't have to shred on it to have fun. It's actually really fun at all speeds. Oh, this corner so well. This bike's magical. So special. It rides different than the Pipe Dream Sirius. The Pipe Dream wants to be ridden at 8/10, 9/10, and 10/10. And the Pipe Dream is a little more serious. This will make you smile a little more, unless going as fast as humanly possible is your favorite thing about riding. Oh, what a joy. I cannot believe how easy this manual is. Got to be a combo of that tall stack, short chainstay, nice short fork. Man, what a great bike. Oh yeah, this will handle green, blues, black diamonds. You could possibly take this on some double blacks, but you'd be going slow and picking your line carefully. Oh, it's got that special sauce where it just reminds you of the joy of riding a hardtail. Lately, it feels like most bikes coming out of Asia are coming out of 3 factories. So the only thing that differentiates them is the geometry. I don't know who's building this in Asia, but it is one of the more supple Asian frames I've ridden. Yeah, this thing just wants to jump and play. My goodness, so much fun. But you don't have to be wringing its neck going as fast as humanly possible to have fun. This is what a hardtail is all about. So a lot of these Asian frames are a little bit stiffer, a little bit heavier than what you get from a custom builder or some UK made stuff or some US made stuff. It's not quite as much of a Cadillac as the Stanton Sherpa or the Kodak Solaris Max, but for an Asian frame, it's got a good ride. Oh, these bars are amazing. They feel better than carbon bars to me. Kind of feels like I'm running 2 psi less in the bars. Wow. Didn't expect a huge difference there, but I'm impressed. Nice job, Roost. All right, let's see if we can party a little more. This bike is so balanced. So balanced. Even if you're coming from an old school riding style, you'll do well on this. You don't have to be over the front like crazy. It's a really great blend of modern geo, but that doesn't take extremely modern technique to ride. My goodness, what a treat. I can't imagine someone buying this bike and not just clicking with it and loving it. If you want something super specialized, like just downhill plow, they're better options. If you want an XC race machine, they're better options. But a lot of people say, hey, I want a trail hardtail, or I like flow trails. I like small jumps, and I like drops. Nothing big, but just intermediate trails with the occasional black diamond. Okay, let's see if I can get up these technical climbs. Struggling just a little bit on the really technical stuff. See, I'm struggling just a little bit with my timing on big moves. I think I just need more seat time on this to get used to it. Hello, just me. So this is just a reminder to not judge a bike by my first look vids. They provide great info, but nothing beats the ride review. And if you need help deciding which bike to get next, especially if it's a hardtail, I have a bike consultation service. Oh man, this is too cool. I have a bike consultation service over on Patreon, and I'd love to help you with that. Link in the description of this video. Oh, this thing has so much special sauce. I could be totally happy with this as my only bike. Yeah, I feel like the seat angle needs to be a little bit steeper. It kind of wants to wheelie on steep stuff. This thing's got a really low bottom bracket, so when you rail corners with good technique, it just feels glued to the ground. It almost feels like a mullet sometimes in corners, but with the rollover of 29s. I'm surprised how comfortable this thing is at slow speeds. Be a great bike packer. It is just a great hardtail. If you don't want to do my bike consultation service, you just want a good bike that's good at just about everything, get yourself one of these. It kind of fits squarely between the Pipe Dream Sirius S5 and the Stanton Sherpa. The Sirius is more serious, more of a charger, more of an attack bike that you got to ride 8/10 to 10/10 to enjoy. I'm riding like 4/10 today, and I'm really enjoying it on this thing. It doesn't quite have the pep and the zip that some of the lighter, sprightlier XC-ish bikes have, like my Spot Rocker. The Stanton Sherpa is a little more chill and relaxed. That bike likes to be ridden 1/10 to 9/10 as well. They're pretty similar. The Sherpa feels a little bit zippier, a little bit more peppy. This is a little more playful. This reminds me a lot of the Middle Child, but with 29-inch wheels. Oh, this thing corners so well. So if I had to guess the geo and ignore the geo chart, I'd say it rides like it has a 445 mil reach, 65-degree head angle, tall stack, 74-degree seat angle, 420 chainstay, nice low bottom bracket, but still will pop up to play. That's hard to find. A planted cornering machine that's still playful. This thing loves to manual. This thing's special. Man, sometimes I look at these bikes on paper and think, that looks just like so many other bikes. Oh yeah. But this thing is truly special. It does not ride like so many other bikes. Thank you. Have a wonderful night. It's just me. I'll wait for you. You're good. Uh-huh. Wonderful. What a perfect night, huh?
Yeah, I just arrived.
Oh, good. Have a good one. Welcome to Sedona. So it takes a real man to admit that he doesn't need the shreddiest hardtail on the planet. And if you're okay to admit that, man, this thing is just neat. Great wheelie machine, good at bunny hops, I'm actually at a loss for words. I'm just enjoying the ride and I'm forgetting that I'm reviewing a bike. And that's one of the highest compliments you can give a bike. Well, Sour absolutely nailed it with this thing. I'm excited to see them taking production in-house in Germany. It'll be interesting to see if those ride as magically as this do. I don't have any reason to believe they won't. But I don't know, sometimes when you change things, it's more magical, sometimes it's less magical, sometimes it's the same. Oh, what a beautiful night. Man, I'm just on cloud 9 on this thing. Just having a fun ride. I don't feel like I have to charge. Just enjoying the pedal. What a special bike. All right, let's rate this thing. Climbing, I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10 for seated climbing. And I'm gonna say a 7 out of 10 for technical climbing. I don't know why that is. I'm just getting more hung up than usual today on it. Cornering's a 10 out of 10. I just feel like I have extra traction in every corner. The bike just kind of reads my mind when a corner comes. Some bikes you get to a corner and you're like, oh crap, what do I do again? This thing is just plain fun. Playfulness, 11 out of 10. This thing is so playful. I like that it's not overly slack. Totally wants to get on the back wheel any chance it can. Man, so planted in the corners. Downhills, I'm gonna give it a 10 out of 10 for flow downhills like this. An 8.5 out of 10 for double black diamond downhills. If you're riding a lot of double black diamonds on your hardtail, you're crazy. Maybe get a full suspension. Or a bike that's just a little more suited for that. Hey, I got a hard climb. Here we are at the end of our ride. I'm kind of at a loss for words. I feel like I'm repeating myself because having a hard time putting into words what I'm feeling. So let's sum it up. This is a great trail bike, and it is so much fun where hardtails are great. It's not an XC bike. It's not light and zippy and quick to accelerate like an XC bike, but it's not slow and draggy like an enduro bike. It's just a great balance of so many things. This bike has so much special sauce. Some bikes, when I ride them, it takes me 5 or 6 or 7 rides to really click with it, get used to how it handles and see what it's good at. This bike, from the first 10 feet, I was grinning. I felt at home. I was charging on stuff. I was smiling. It reminds me a lot of my Banshee Paradox, but it's more playful. It's got a little bit shorter rear end. This thing loves to manual, loves to wheel, loves to bunny hop. It loves to turn the trail into a playground. This would be amazing on Flow Trail in Santa Cruz, on Braille Trail. This would be incredible on any blue trail in the world. It'd be incredible on so many black trails as well, and it'd still be fun on green trails. Sometimes I find myself wanting to ride the hardest trails in an area to prove to myself that I can do it. And so I seek out a hardtail that's really built for that. And that's fun. But it's easy to forget just how much fun the blue trails are on a great bike like this. And blue trails can be every bit as fun as a black diamond or double black diamond. They really can if you have the right bike. And this is the right bike for that. It'll have no problem dabbling in the blacks, no problem dabbling in the greens, but it's sure at home at 90% of the trails out there. And if we're honest, that's what's usually the closest and the most accessible, and right out our back door are those intermediate trails that have some challenge on them but aren't too difficult. Sour has absolutely knocked it out of the park on this thing. I was pretty harsh on it in the first look. I don't like the internal routing. I don't like those grommets. If they swapped them with those little bolt-on windows, I'd be a lot happier. And yeah, I wish I could get that seat a little bit lower. I think a 175 dropper would be great on this, but 150 is just fine. There's little niggles like having to zip tie the cable routing on there. I think if they ran the cable routing under there and fully external, it'd be just about perfect. This thing is so special. I don't know what else to say. If you're not looking for the rowdiest bike or the fastest XC bike, I can't imagine someone being unhappy with this. It is so good. So there you have it, the Sour Crumble. This bike has blown the doors off my expectations. I expected, oh, another Asian frame. You're probably coming from the same factory as so many other bikes that I review, but man, there's something special about this. The geometry is so good. The only thing I'd change is that seat angle. Man, I'm sad I have to take this bike apart and put these parts on another bike to review it because I want to keep riding this thing every day. This thing is so special. Sour, you guys are awesome. Sour also has some other models in their lineup coming up. Make sure to go check out their website. They've got more bike packing centric models. They've got some shreddier models. I look forward to featuring those on the channel in the future. You guys are awesome. Thank you for loving Hardtails. Thank you for being so positive and supportive in the comments. You guys are incredible. I have the best audience, and I can't wait to meet more of you on my group rides. Keep up the positivity and the hardtail stoke. There's a party in the mountains, and you're invited.